Bennett, what are you doing? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for Pikmin.
Pikmin?
Yeah.
Those aren't real, Bennett.
Well, I'm sure they are. I found Pikmin free! What's up, guys? Me and my dad here. We're going to talk about Pikmin Free.
For the Wii U. Yeah, and this is a fun game. This is the first Pikmin game we played. Since then, we've picked up 2 and 1. So Pikmin, if you haven't played it, about tiny creatures that live kind of in the garden type environments.
And then it seems like it's supposed to be taking place in Earth, but like kind of like quite a bit in the future, where like all the humans are like gone. I don't really get what's supposed to happen to humans, but it seems like Earth for sure.
You're a little space captain that's crashed on a planet, and you find these creatures and learn how to use the creatures to help you and explore. And
You find treasure, you kill bad guys, you defeat bosses, you go in different parts of the world.
And there's different kinds of Pikmin. There's the 3 main colors, but then you see the rock one up front. There's a few different ones, and they all have different abilities. And why don't you talk a little about it?
Well, like, it seems kind of weird because, like, so you're the captain, and then you have, like, all your Pikmin with you, and then, like, you, like, could throw them at things if you want them to pick up, like, treasures or, like, food to bring it, like, to your, like, base and sucks it up in your ship if it was, like, food or...
The story of the game is that you're stranded and you need these creatures to help you
Like
find your crewmates, to help you find food, find pieces of your ship.
Yeah, and then like find that stuff, and then like you like get more Pikmin, then like get like mints. Now like you could have like maybe like 5 or 1 on it, and put it in like the portal, and then get more Pikmin, and then like get a lot to like push things or to, like fight bad guys or to pick up things.
Yeah, I think you could have 100 with you at a time, and you get to pick which kinds they are and how you want to use them, and then you can go back to kind of your base to put some away or get more.
Yeah.
And then you could find more out in the wild and help make more.
Or like, well, not in the story, but in like it's also like the 2-player mode. Like, so the story is only 1 player, and you can do it. The 2-player mode is where like there's 3 different modes. Like you could only do the boss one after you defeat all the bosses, but you could do the treasure and the bad guy one.
And there's also a bingo mode that we tried before in the past.
Bingo?
Yeah, and this was, I think, the first game that we downloaded DLC for because we liked it so much and we thought the 2-player was fun and we wanted to try more of it.
Wait, what do you mean?
DLC is when you buy like extra parts of the game that didn't come with it, that you could just get if you want to, if you really like the game. So I downloaded more of it for us, paid a little extra money. Yeah, we played the co-op 2-player stuff's pretty fun. We played that quite a bit. And that one, you have a few different modes. One where you're seeing how many treasures you can get within a time limit. Another where you're seeing how many enemies you can kill within a time limit, and one where you're just fighting bosses and seeing how quickly you can do that.
Man, I think fighting the bosses is like you can only do that like I think when you like finish the game.
And there's a number of big enemies that are pretty much bosses that you'll fight throughout the story that you have to be prepared for. Or the first time you encounter them, you won't do well.
Then each type of Pikmin like has his own like type of thing. It's good at like the red Pikmin are fire, and then they can like fight fire enemies, and they're good with like all fire stuff. But like you say, any other type of Pikmin will like die quickly and not that good at that stuff. Say like the rock Pikmin is good at like it's like the strong one that like, could break like glass, and then the blue Pikmin could like go in the water. The only one that could go in like the water and like fight water type of like bosses like
Enemies.
And then the like it's like the I think this is a new Pikmin this for this game, and then it's the flying Pikmin where they have wings and they fly, and then
They're the weakest for fighting, but you can use them to fly things back to your base.
Yeah, and they could fly over water too.
Yeah, or over gaps that others can't cross without a bridge.
And there's one special kind that's like really strong that could pick up, say, apple or a banana, and those are like really big for like Pikmin, regular Pikmin, and they're like bigger than you, cause like I think you're supposed to be like your cat's supposed to be like an alien. It's really like small, right? And then also like there's a few more Pikmin that like or like just have different techniques, and then besides like Pikmin, you have like each like day, like you call it days, like which are the levels, and then you have time limits. And really time limits are like maybe like 20 minutes long.
Well, in the story, each day has a cycle, and you could see how far the sun's gone and how much time you have remaining before it sets, and you have to have all your Pikmin gathered up before the sun goes down, otherwise they'll get left behind, and you have to leave the planet at sundown because that's when the creatures start attacking.
Wait, if I think about it, like later in the story, when all three captains roast each other, and then how do you know how they go into rockets and go out of Earth? Why can't they just leave?
I think their ship's not strong enough. They could just hover above their planet a little. And then I think from the onset you know that you only have a certain number of days, I think 60 days to complete your mission. So you have to keep track of how many you have left and see how many days you can get out of there in.
And the reason why it's not good to be like in Earth when it's sunset is because like the bad guys, like all the dangerous bad guys that are really hard come out.
And it's funny too, you'll find things that you'll recognize as being like a cell phone, but to them it's a giant thing, and it's alien technology or ancient technology to them, and you'll find things like that that give you hints that it's taking on a futuristic Earth where your humans have gone and the creatures have taken over, and the whole style of it, the game is really unique looking and very pretty, and the aliens or the creatures in it are all like very distinct. You won't see anything like them in other games. There's nothing that I could really compare them to. They're just all very, very one of a kind, which is nice.
Yeah.
Nothing derivative about it.
And then there's one thing also I like that like usually wouldn't be for other games. So like Pikmin's supposed to be like a family and fun game for kids, and then what kind of like is cool is that when you kill the bad guys, like or when your Pikmin die, you see their ghost, and then the big thing that follows that like when you kill the bad guys, you still like see their dead bodies, and you carry them, if you want, you could carry them back, and then like usually in like games, like I don't really like this and that if like you kill a bad guy, like you like see their body for like a second and then it starts like fading away, and I don't like that. But like in this game, you could see it like just staying there, and then like you could do like whatever you want with it, basically like bring it back or just leave it there.
Yeah, if you bring them back, then you can make more Pikmin, use them as a resource.
Yeah, and then it looks like cool. It looks cool to like see like them dead also. I just think it does.
Yeah, and the game, basically it's got some strategy, resource management, action. It's got a few different levels to it, and it's pretty pretty different than other games I've played in those regards and what you're trying to do. And it's pretty fun in that way.
Yeah, and sometimes it could be kind of like a puzzle game, some parts of it, but not too much really. But, like the thing that's hard, like the hardest for me is like fighting all the bad guys, because like some of the bad guys could be really strong.
And the 2-player adds some fun replayability to it. We've played it quite a bit, and we still go back and play it sometimes.
Like sometimes it's really hard, I notice, and sometimes it's like really easy, or sometimes it's like this kind of easy and kind of hard at the same time. So like it kind of changes all the time, and like a lot of games you do when you start out, it's like hard, easy, and then in the middle it's more harder, and then in the last part it's hard. But in Pikmin 3, I noticed isn't that like it could just be easy or like a little hard anytime.
Well, you kind of guide the game because it's up to you how much you want to try to accomplish in one day.
Well, yeah, because it does kind of seem like that, because it's kind of different in other games. In other games, like your main goal is to get one thing, and you need to like get it, otherwise you lose or something, or you have to do the level over again. But in Pikmin 3, like you just have to like try getting, like you get whatever you want, do like whatever you want in the level, and you have to like try getting like a lot, like you could get like a lot of things, and then one day, and then but if you don't even get that much, you can still like just go to the next day, like which is the next level.
Yeah, it's not the type of thing where you have to just give up if you've missed a day or anything like that. So the stress isn't that high.
Yeah.
And the controls are easy to use and pretty intuitive and feel pretty natural. There's a few different ways you could play it, and they all feel fine. Playing it on the gamepad, playing it with a Wii remote and a nunchuck, then it lets you point, and that helps a little bit. And you could play it with the Pro controller as well.
Yeah, it's only one thing I wish. I wish the story was 2-player, because like maybe later in the game it is. Do you think?
Not that I remember.
Yeah, because like first you start off with like 1 captain, and then I think like 2, and then 3. Yeah, so like some cool things in it, and then like I remember that when me and my dad we played the game, like the whole story and a lot of it like a while ago, like a few years ago, and then we played it a little bit like recently, but like mostly it was a while ago, so I kind of forgot quite a few things, but mostly remember it all. But I remember that like the big boss is super hard, and sometimes it's like really hard.
Yeah, you definitely have to learn what you're doing with the bosses and figure out their weakness and kind of the strategy. And it, the story's fun, but since we beat it, I think I've only gone back to it once or twice. But it'd be worth playing through again. But for us, the 2 players, what's kept us coming back to it.
Yeah.
We've played a little the first one since. We haven't gotten a chance for the second one yet, but I think we'll get to that. We enjoyed the third one so much, and I would highly recommend playing it if you don't have a Wii U, which a lot of people, I guess, don't, and they're kind of over now.
Get one.
Well, I wouldn't buy a Wii U just for this, but if you wanted to pick one up, since they're probably cheap now, this is definitely one of the games I would get for it. Maybe they'll re-release it on a Switch or something like that eventually.
Do you release it on a Switch? We need to buy it, because if it's on the Switch, we could bring it anywhere.
Yeah, this would be a good one to remake for the Switch. But like I said, if you have a Wii U or you're thinking of getting a Wii U, I would recommend Pikmin 3.
Yep, one of the best.
Yeah, one of our favorite games for it.